Have you ever sat in a quiet room, wondering why the phone hasn't rung in weeks? Or stared at your front door a little longer than usual, hoping one of your kids might surprise you with a visit, only for the day to come and go in silence? If those feelings sound familiar, please believe that you are not alone. Rejection from your own children is one of the deepest and most personal kinds of pain there is. The ache isn't just about missed birthdays or unanswered calls. It's the profound sadness of watching someone you raised, someone you held when they were sick or cheered on at school plays, slowly drift away or turn their back altogether. It cuts deep, and I know, for many of you reading this, it's not just a theory. It's happening. However, here's a truth. You're still here. You still have value. You still have purpose. While we may not be able to change our children's choices or the distance they've put between us, we can change how we respond to that pain. We can choose strength over bitterness, growth over regret, and peace over guilt. So today, let's talk about what to do when your kids reject you. Not just to cope, but to reclaim your dignity, your energy, and your joy, because you deserve that. 1. Give yourself permission to feel the pain. First, you need to give yourself permission to feel what you feel. Many of us were raised to bottle things up. Be strong, we were told. Don't cry, don't show weakness. But the truth is, this isn't about weakness, it's about being human. When your child pushes you away, it's normal to feel angry, sad, or confused, sometimes even ashamed. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty for hurting. What matters is not whether you feel pain, but what you do with it. Some people let it harden them, building up walls and saying, "Fine, I never needed them anyway." But those walls don't protect you, they trap you. Others let the pain define them, making it their whole story. They tell themselves, "I'm the parent whose children don't care." But you are more than that. So much more. Instead of hiding from the pain or letting it take over, try this. Sit with it, acknowledge it, and then, slowly, start turning it into something new. It's not easy, but it is powerful. 2. Stop blaming yourself and release the guilt. Once you've begun to accept your emotions, the next step is even more important. Stop blaming yourself for everything that went wrong. I know it's easy to do. When your child stops calling, your mind often goes straight to the past. Maybe I was too strict. Maybe I worked too much. Maybe I didn't listen enough. But let me ask you something. Did you do your best with what you had at the time? If you're like most parents I know, the answer is yes. You showed up, you provided, you loved, and sure, maybe you made mistakes. Who hasn't? But parenting doesn't come with a handbook. And we all grow through trial and error. Blaming yourself for everything doesn't fix the relationship, it just makes you suffer twice. Once for the rejection, and again for imagined guilt that may not even be fair. Sometimes, the way our children treat us has nothing to do with what we did or didn't do. Maybe they're going through their own struggles. Maybe they're influenced by people or ideas we can't control. Maybe they've been hurt in ways they don't know how to express. And instead of facing their pain, they direct it toward the person who's safest, you. It's not right, but it happens. 3. Reclaim your self-worth. That's why one of the healthiest things you can do, and this might surprise you, is to stop chasing their approval. I don't mean stop loving them. And I don't mean giving up hope. I mean stop rearranging your entire emotional life around their behavior. If they don't call, it doesn't mean you're unworthy. If they don't visit, it doesn't mean you failed. Their actions are about them. Your worth, your value, and your dignity come from within, not from someone else's choices. You are not a second-class person just because someone you love doesn't treat you with respect or kindness. You are not less valuable because someone else can't see your worth. Think of a diamond. Whether someone throws it in the trash or places it in a crown, it's still a diamond. Its value doesn't change based on how people treat it. And neither does yours. 4. Find new joy and purpose. I know, easier said than done, right? So here's something practical. Start reclaiming your time and attention. When your thoughts start spiraling, thinking about what your child said or didn't say, or what they posted on Facebook, Gently bring your focus back to you. Your breath, your body, your life. Ask yourself, what can I do right now that nourishes me? That could be something small, like stepping outside for fresh air, calling a friend who always makes you laugh, or listening to music from your younger days that makes your heart feel alive again. These are not just distractions, they are reminders that your life is still yours to live. And while we're on that topic, let's talk about connection, because the worst part of being rejected by your kids isn't just the silence, it's the loneliness. But you don't have to be alone. Yes, it hurts when family pulls away. But family can be built in other ways, through friendships, community, and people who choose to show up. Not because they're blood, but because they care. You have more to offer than you think. And the world needs it. You might be thinking, I don't want to replace my kids. And you don't have to. What you're doing is adding to your life, not subtracting. You're choosing connection over isolation, joy over resentment, presence over pain, because the truth is, you are still writing your story. This chapter doesn't have to be one of bitterness or regret. It can be one of rediscovery, new friendships, and quiet strength. It begins when you stop waiting for someone else to make you feel valued and start realizing you've had that value all along. 5. Let go of what you cannot control. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is letting go of the need for closure. We often think, if only I could have one honest conversation with my son. Or, if only my daughter would tell me why she pulled away. But here's the hard truth. That conversation may never come. And even if it does, it might not give you the peace you're hoping for. Peace doesn't come from their explanation, it comes from your decision to move forward. Even without all the answers. It's okay not to understand everything. It's okay to still have questions. But don't let those questions become chains that hold you in place. You are allowed to heal even in the middle of uncertainty. You are allowed to find peace even when things are unresolved. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means loosening your grip on what you can't control, so you can hold on to the things you can. 6. Embrace new beginnings. Your life is still happening. Right now. Today. So, if you've been sitting by the window waiting for a knock that never comes, it's time to turn away from that window and start opening some doors for yourself. Start with small, consistent steps. Maybe it's morning tea on the porch, listening to the birds. Maybe it's writing in a journal. Not about what you've lost, but about what you still have. Life opens up when you start looking outward again, beyond the empty seat at the table. Because yes, that empty seat is real. And it hurts. But don't let it blind you to all the other seats still filled with possibility. Ultimately, even if the relationship never comes back, you will have rebuilt something much more important, yourself. You are not broken. You are not discarded. You are not forgotten. You are a person with wisdom, resilience, and heart. And you are still writing your story. If you've been rejected, disrespected, or forgotten by your children, I want you to hear this loud and clear. That doesn't make you unlovable. It doesn't erase the years you gave, the sacrifices you made, or the nights you sat by the window waiting for them to come home. You were a good parent. Maybe not perfect, but none of us are. You loved them the best way you knew how. That matters. And your story isn't over. So, if your children have stepped away, step toward yourself. Rebuild trust within. Be kind to your own heart. Forgive yourself. Be proud of your resilience. And one more thing. Never be ashamed of your love. Even if it's not returned the way you hoped. The ability to love deeply, even when it hurts, is a strength. It's proof that your heart is still open, still beating, still alive.